5 seconds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the grand final of BTS Americas 3. We're getting ready to hop into game number 3. It's Team Archon going against Digital Chaos, where the game is going to be split one apiece. This is KotLGuy bringing you the coverage for Beyond the Summit, and I'm going to be joined again by Maut here remotely. Maut, here we go. Looking to change things up here. Digital Chaos, just... Really, who do you put the MVP on for that one? Because it's just, from top to bottom, resolutions, death profits seem pretty out of control. How many turnarounds was he able to put out? But then also Bulba, with that big faceless void play, man. He set up time and time again these huge chronos and almost made it look effortless there for Digital Chaos overall.
I mean, I don't know. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, so this is great.
Get it?
Secondly,
so far, it sounds good, yeah.
I feel like the MVP was... I don't know if you could give one to somebody on DC last game because they all played extraordinarily well. I think Resolution had a great mid, but a lot of that was due to 1437 and AUI 2000 rotating in. And Bulba had those amazing three-man chronosphere. So I actually would give the edge to him, I think, in terms of the MVP because of how well he did there. So
not good enough to justify a ban, though. They do continue to put a lot of hate on Bulba, as we are again going to be seeing that first ban onto Beastmaster. They do have Bulba, who is a specialist on the hero, and when you have a Beastmaster specialist, it can really make the game difficult with the access to that ridiculous amounts of vision, push potential, and proper lockdown. Archon will be banning out the Invoker here, and we'll see what they're going to go for the first big pick. Earth Spirit's still out there. They got the Death Prophet, Faceless Void. I'm curious to see where their priorities are going to lie here. Vengeful Spirit, if they're looking to get something like Classic there and not have to worry about something like a Bat Rider. Or the Chen, which...
available.
Yeah, every game, Chen has been the first pick for both of these teams.
Yeah, and that's a huge pickup for Archon. Enchantress is available. So both teams that have picked the Chen in each game, they'd won. Chen was picked up first for Archon. They won game number 1. Oh, here we go. Earth Spirit, always a fun hero to watch. Can they combo this up with an Enchantress? They can.
Oh.
They will go for the Enchantress. Great start for Digital Chaos. I like it.
Yeah, this is a very fruitful first 2 picks here for Digital Chaos now. We know Owie to have recently been playing a lot of the Earth Spirit here. And you can expect that kind of pressure to be coming through in the laning stage. And then Bulba, who has been showing why many teams need to respect it and ban it out. But here we're going to be seeing it in play. And we're going to have to see what Team Archon are going to be doing about it. It is Chen versus Enchantress, so you have those fun little quirks of being able to take reach from each other. But I wonder if Archon need to kind of add it to Bulba like right out of the gate. Get to that side camp, see if you contest it or block it out. Or if they want to kind of take any of those measures here. But you can also use it against Digital Chaos. It's pretty apparent what kind of laning setup they are going to be going for, and could kind of use that to their advantage to maybe set up a very strong laning phase. We'll have to see.
I think they will. I think they're going to just go ahead and they might not even care that camp's going to get blocked, and they might just aggro dual lane. Like they've done that before. A lot of teams have done that with Enchantress recently, and I think it works out very well. And with an Earth Spirit, you can send Earth Spirit and Enchantress top lane. That's a deadly duo, if you will. I think that could be a lot of damage coming out from Digital Chaos, and they could probably put a lot of pressure on the opposing, especially because there's a Chen. They've been given free reign to go for an aggro dual lane, essentially, and just to absolutely own whoever's in that safe lane coming out for Team Archon. So we'll wait and see if that's actually the case, if they pair it up with another hero. But it's a lifestealer picked up for Archon, so all right. I like it.
All right, it's a super early Lifestealer, but nowadays you really don't know what the purpose of this Lifestealer is, to be honest. I mean, I've seen it now as an offlane grab for the likes of like Universe has played it. We've been seeing it in the 4 position in the hands of EG as well. Even Digital Chaos just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, pulled out that 4 position Lifestealer in the hands of Owie, or it could be just more the traditional sense safe lane core. So you really don't know what you're in for with an early pick on the Lifestealer, but they have passed up a lot of big options here where they could have like grabbed up something for Moo to be able to be a big problem, like let's say that Faceless Void, and then eventually move forward and get something like a Clinks, which could be maybe enough burst potential to really take it to Enchantress. But we'll have to see. Lifestealer right away, obviously it's just great to have that ability, Rage. It's going to be able to shrug off the Magnetize, and you won't have to worry about that ridiculous untouchable. So, I mean, I love the grab nonetheless. And you have a vehicle in the sense that Chen, could use a creep, I guess, to get him into the battle, but they could also just end up snagging up themselves a puck or something.
He's just going to get an ancient, which is why I like it played in the off. When you get level 6, you get an ancient, you just start running at people because you have this extraordinarily high HP unit that you're just using, and at that point in time, they can't deal with it. Later on down the road, the ancient doesn't matter that much, but hopefully the Lifestealers accomplish enough by just harassing and helping push out the waves with it. So I imagine they'll play it much like Universe does, but I could be wrong about that. I'm surprised they pick it out second. Obviously, they could have maybe gotten a Beastmaster to deal with the Lifestealer, but of course it was banned out. Archon did so pretty extraordinarily well. They actually banned out Batrider, could have been pretty okay against Lifesteal with the last hope as well. So just getting something that goes through Rage or Magic Community would be nice to have, which they do have with Digital Chaos's Impetuses, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough damage to come through still. We'll see how this Lifestealer's played up as the next band's going to come out, and we'll see what it is.
Yeah, it does look like here Archon have played the Lifestealer not that long ago against Elite Wolves in a match. With that pairing, they did get the mid lane puck, so could be looking for that again. It's also nice to have the puck here against something like Earth Spirit, because Earth Spirit needs to be able to land that rolling boulder, and landing that on a puck, it ain't easy with the ability to kind of just easily sidestep it. And once you miss the rolling boulder, the gank usually ends up leading to nowhere, and you might need to be someone who's very elusive. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 special if they want to go down that road. But the last time they played it here, I just wanted to confirm who actually played it for them on their team. It was in the hands of Maut. So they gave him and they actually changed up the laning there a little bit. They gave him a solo safe lane at that point. So we'll see.
You're talking about Lifestealer, right?
Mm-hmm. For the Lifestealer.
Yeah. That's fine. They've played solo safe lane 2 games in a row so far from Maut. So they could do it a third time. They did what did they do? Night Stalker last game, first game they did the Legion Commander. I'm sure that's fine. DC will go for the Lena. That's probably their mid laner for Resolution. Maybe it could be a support. I doubt that's the case, however. Lena Earth Spirit support duo might not be the best. This is a pretty good way to deal with a Lifestealer in terms of just being able to burst him down. If he doesn't have his rage up, you're going to kill him pretty easily. If he does have his rage up, you hope to get an Aghanim Scepter and just chew through with the Laguna Blade.
Remaining.
So.
I really hope Archon didn't shoot themselves in the foot picking this Lifestealer early, It's like, did they have to
Maybe they baited it. Dude, maybe they're just like, we have another pick that's crazy later on down the road, and you're going to all focus on the Lifestealer. We're going to pick something else that's absolutely insane. Good luck, guys. Enjoy.
They have a game of flexibility here. It's going to be the puck. I mean, you can't really fault them on that for the reasons listed. You need that vehicle for Lifestealer, in case he doesn't have a handy Ancient or anything like that. And the control is certainly going to be nice. I mean, you Dream Coil up in Earth Spirit, more often than not, you might actually catch him as he's trying to roll away from trouble, and he can't get away from that snap. He will be able to get far away, but he'll still be hit up from the stun, and he is the guy who likes to move, doesn't like to be committed too hard into the team.
Man, they are really going all in on this.
So Wyvern, even another anti-BKB kind of a hero, and adds all the great sustain for their hefty push, has great deep push, that's excellent against the Chen. I always preach how I think, a lot of people felt Wyvern Maut just straight up died when those changes came into her ultimate. But I think there was a lot of great indirect buffs, including the Aether Lens. I said this a lot previously, but I feel like Wyvern benefits so much from that item. You get the extra bit of mana, which she certainly will put to use. You have huge range now with those shards. A great range for a save on Cold Embrace. And, of course, the ultimate, which was already buffed up with this AoE and range, now even going to be that much easier to set up and quickly delete a hero. Imagine she casts that onto Pugna. Pugna will just simply die once his team looks at him. That guy is so freaking frail. But the Pugna coming out, this is feeling pretty all-in push right now for Archon.
I mean, also, it's going to make the Lena's life a little bit miserable. Maybe the Enchantress to a certain extent, casting Impetus, but still. The Lena is certainly not going to have a lot of fun. They'll have to find that Death Ward immediately and bring it down. And they have some push with Chen. They have some push with Pugna. They could get an Ancient with the Lifestealer. Puck can provide that, waning Rift Silence and the Dream Coil, so they have the tempo control that they really need to take a team fight underneath the tower if they need to. But Digital Chaos have a more sound game. I mean, it comes down to can they get up that Dragonlance Enchantress? Can they get perhaps 1 or 2 items out of the Earth Spirit? Can the Lena get up to where Yules and Ags early on? If Digital Chaos can get over the hurdle of dealing with the aggressive style of Team Archon, I feel like they're going to be in a good spot. This is before we even know they're going to pick the safe lane. In fact, both teams are really waiting on their safe laner unless this Pugna is going to be played as a safe lane hero, as a
5
farmer, but I
seconds
doubt that's the case. I mean, well, you know more about Pugna than I do. What's your
Dude,
opinion
I have
of
seen
hero?
everything from Pugna for all these teams, though. I know
All right.
Archon, you do usually run it in a support position, but I usually see Fluff play it. But that's not the case here. Fluff's got to be playing Chen, so really, I don't know. It can't be off lane because typically they like to run Moo on the Lifestealer, so it may be a Jo Pugna. Like, I really don't know otherwise, unless Whitebeard plans on playing it as a more aggressive. I'm really
You got me,
flabbergasted.
dude.
I'm flabbergasted by
no
it.
idea.
So I'm very intrigued, though. The ward is going to be potential to do a lot of work, but Pugna is just so frail.
10
You'll often
seconds
see him go
remaining.
for like an early power treads. I've seen some get bracers even to make up for the fact that he just
5
has no
seconds
strength.
remaining.
And he could just be crushed by the likes of an Earth Spirit and stuff. Though if he pops down a great ward, it's going to be a lot of trouble. The last pick, though, is going to be a Leshrac here. It's a support
push, baby.
Leshrac.
Yeah.
And it is a
It's all
Jo
push.
Pugna. Wow.
This is great. I think a lot of people are starting to realize the power of Leshrac is still strong. Lightning Storm, a terrible ability. Way back in the day, it was awful. It was not really used, never really accomplished anything. People would go Edict as well Split Earth, and boy, would it be great. They changed the cast point for Edict, and then everyone's like, we're never picking this hero again. Then Lightning Storm became a good potential ability and actually owned a lot of people in the mid lane in particular. That got nerfed again, and we're back to that, the QW build, the Diabolic Edict as well as the Split Earth. And those are two very strong abilities. You get up a couple levels. I mean, hell,
10
level 3
seconds
Edict
remaining.
is amazing. So you don't actually need that much experience for a support
5
Leshrac to be
seconds
actually super
remaining.
successful. But again, it's all push coming out, as you talked about for Archon. And for DC, they just have to deal with it somehow as they get the last pick Weaver. I felt like they could have. I'm not a huge fan for the Weaver. I know Mason loves this hero, but I just feel like there's other options available than a Weaver. And I guess it's great for getting in and out, just taking out a ton of the good thing is for the Weaver, though, there are so many squishy heroes on Archon's team. If he gets to the back lines and he gets like one damaging item, he will kill all of them. All of them will die.
It's a Mason classic. He played this, back as we know, TI4, EG, and
Right.
it's something he's very familiar with and has been seeing a lot more light in recent games. So we'll have to see if it's going to be working out for him. Owie is sporting the worst cosmetic for Earth Spirit. I just got to say, I don't mean to be derailing too much from the game, but the mustache look is absolutely terrible, and I don't see any other Earth Spirit player wear it. So good for him.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, with this all in kind of a push. And I did want to say they
30
actually did
seconds
play
to
Jo on the Pugna just yesterday or earlier. We play. They actually ran it out. Look at this long rolling forward from Owie right now. I don't know if that was a blind roll in. They don't have the vision, but I guess they were banking that someone's going to be waiting up there. Nonetheless, they'll just get the bit of intel to see that Jo is indeed going towards the off lane on this Pugna. So we're in for a bit of a doozy, Maut, as we get underway for game number 3. What was a best of 5 has, well, pretty much turned into a best of 3. This
Lord.
rolling boulder will hit on the monkeys. He will jump on forward for the orb and be rewarded with the bounty rune, but he might lose his own life for it. He tries to drop the tree and eat it for the extra bit of regen, and it actually will be enough. He makes it away to safety, and he will be stuck and probably need a little more assistance in the shared tango department, but for now he does live and get the word, or the rune rather.
He's going to get salved up by Whitebeard, so that's one bit of regen gone by the wayside. And he's also bringing another salve out. They're going to spot out Whitebeard, and 1437 is going to do his best to zone him out. He already used Arctic Burn. Resolution will get here to the lane earlier, but Whitebeard, or rather Monkey's Fervor, will get here as well. I'm excited to see how this lane goes. I feel like Monkeys could be a good puck player, but Resolution's known for his lane of play as well, so we'll wait and see how this lane goes down. There's an aggressive tri-lane coming up from Digital Chaos against the squishiness. Well, it's a lifesteal. He's not that squishy, but still, he is solo safe lane yet again, as you talked about.
But he's not an easy target here, and you got to applaud a bit Archon for putting up lanes that are making the game, very tricky for DC as far as what they're going to be doing with their early game aggression, which they certainly have in the form of this Earth Spirit now. Puck not easy to go on here. It looks like he's trying to get some scouting to spot out where the Chen is, but now they know the Chen is missing. Why is he not in his own jungle? Well, the Fluff is actually currently up at the top of the map right now. He's already got the bear, and he's looking to make a move on the other. Can he grab up the creep or something here? It looks like the Centaur's going to be something. It's a battle of creeps. They're going to be going toe-to-toe. Stomp's going to be coming out first from Bulba, and now he puts his attention, and it looks like he might be able to get the last laugh, taking away the Fluff creep. Get it?
Get it!
Can he deny it? No! He gets the kill. Good grab for Bulba.
Meanwhile, AUI 2000 mid lane, there is a ward here that is about to spot him out as he walks around the side. It actually hasn't seen him just yet, but it's close. Now we'll see. And Monkey's forever knows.
Does he know, though? Monkeys is in the zone, in the mid lane, getting CS, but he does get rolled on. But the puck has that ability to sidestep the extra bit of trouble, and that's where, you know, in any other situation or any other game or any other mid laner, that could have been a kill, a first blood with the help of that Earth Spirit, but not necessarily on the puck, and instead Owie's just going to start smacking up Fluff here with the Orb of Venom. Fluff might be actually in a bit of trouble. Here comes the rolling boulder. Oh, he tried to block him off. He actually did. Fluff's going to have to head north towards his friends right now. Whitebeard shows up. Edict going to be committed, and Owie just easily steps away.
This AUI 2000, the first time I saw him play Earth Spirit like a week or two ago, did not play well. This game, and the past couple of games I've seen him, has honed on this hero. His rolling boulders have been on point. He's played well. Monkeys is actually going to get jumped on again. He's got no Elusive Orb. He already used it. He's just got not enough regen. He doesn't have a bottle yet either.
Bottom lane.
Yeah, he just bought it.
They're making a move on for Moo in the bottom lane. They know he's alone. They're going to be diving back in behind. Moo's going to be committing the rage. Theben, though, using that flight, hides within the trees where Moo cannot easily attack him, and now he's the one under huge pressure. Rotation coming in from Whitebeard, but it's not going to be in time. They're going to get that first blood kill, taking down Moo and his Lifestealer. Now Whitebeard could be in trouble. He's surrounded by three as Owie does show up. He's waiting and nursing the roll. He's not level 2 yet, so he's not going to have the kick smash. But he's going to hit him one time with the easy Orb of Venom. Oh, roll is going to be a swing and a miss when it's right in front of him. Stun also is going to be a miss here. Whitebeard in trouble. They will get Whitebeard. Moo is back from the dead now. But Theben is going to be able to pull out the Cold Embrace, and he will be fine. 2 picks go the way of Digital Chaos, all happening here in the bottom lane.
What a great start from this team. The aggression coming out. They didn't know they could get these kills. That was with 2 at the start, and then AUI roams on in at the end. And that's just, they might even go again here on Moo. He's got rage up. Mason's like, I'm at half health. I could probably just go again. It's fine. All the meanwhile, Resolution is farming like a god. 21 last hits to 11. And the one good thing they have going their way is, of course, the Pugn is farming well. But Fluff's only got 9 last hits himself, so he's not doing particularly well. This is a great start for Digital Chaos yet again. Dakota.
And really, it's like, okay, well, they have a Pugna that's getting everything you could ask for, but what is a Pugna going to be able to do aside from, you know, creeping on towers and get some early blast damage in? I wager he is going to be putting some favor into getting the ward leveled up, which could certainly turn out a huge team fight. They're actually making a move for Bulba here. Can they get close enough? They can. They got the net. They'll have the stun as a follow-up coming out from Whitebeard here. They look to lock him down. Do they have the burst, though? Decrepify and blast is not enough, and Bulba's going to be able to take down Fluff now. He's turning it around. And now he looks to just walk away from the rest of the trouble, and here comes Owie. He steps in. He's got the Boulder Smash now to work with, but it looks like he will not need to use it. It ends up being a 3-man gank on the Bulba, where Bulba gets the 1 kill and walks away alive.
What an impressive play coming out. And they're not done. They want to go mid here with Resolution. They actually take down an Observer Ward, which was able to get scouted out earlier when when AUI did. That was so good. They just actually 3-man ganked Bulba, decrept him. He is level 3 untouchable. We might have had level 2 when he was getting ganked. He popped up the heal before he got ganked and proceeded to kill Fluff. That is a sign of things to come, perhaps. AUI is going to get silenced. His Monkey Forever is going to go toe-to-toe. Boulder Smash will hit. He'll rolling Boulder away as that happens. And so he will stay alive. He just rolls out the back door. Another Illusion Orb. He's going to jump for this. He wants this kill.
Oh!
Oh, my lord. Where did that come from?
Jesus Christ. Resolution was like, no problem. I'm level 6. He was thirsty for that kill. He had the haste rune, so Owie was right to get away from the trouble, but that was just all in from Monkeys, and I guess he didn't suspect that was just going to be the quick R-click burst and lead to his demise. Digital Chaos off to a triumphant start of 4-0 now. And Mason's already going to work on this bottom tower. This Moo solo safe lane lifesteal with 14 CS, not really up to par with where Archon would like to be at the moment. Fluff's coming in now, and he's caught between 2. They're going to get out the Arctic Burn. The Swarm's going to be there. This Chen is in huge trouble. His little bird is helping try to get rid of the creeps, but it's not going to be enough. They're going to take Fluff down. And Mason will be able to Sakuchi away from the trouble. There is a sentry on the ground, but without any sort of extra assistance, they're not going to be able to do anything about it.
The rest of the crew's coming in, Resolution as well as AUI 2000. They want the skill. Mason knows that he's low on mana currently, so he'll play a little bit further back, but here comes the rest of the squad. LSA is about to fly. Rage is going to go first. They got Rolling Boulder if they need it. There's the open wounds. He's going to try to get on out. And there's the Boulder Smash. LSA will fly. Easy kill coming through. That'll be AUI 2000 picking up the last hit. the amount of pressure being put around on this map on the enemy heroes for DC is outstanding. However, they'll lose that top tier 1 tower, of course, is Jo. He's a Pugna. He does these types of things, and he's allowed to push with the help of a Leshrac. So that is the one saving grace going currently for Archon, as they're currently down for 2,000 in net worth.
They got a tower. That's great. Oh, mid lane. Dragon Slave dodged by Monkeys forever there, but Pugna still has to be a bit careful. 750 life. He's starting to put some points into the ward, but he has no ulti yet. And now he could be potentially caught alone. Whitebeard is very far away. Can Bulba get close enough with the stomp? No, he cannot. The teleport is in good time. Good heads-up movement there from Jo. Will avoid the trouble. And I'm curious if he's going to dissemble. I'm sure he's got to be going into an Aether Lens. It's really nice on the Pugna. Just turn the
he will disassemble, I imagine.
And he has that bracer, too. I mean, it looks like maybe a drums could also be in order, but that's where you really need the extra, the substance. He is just very weak without that.
Yeah, the casual bracer is super common. You're right. He can build to the drum if he wants to. He doesn't need to. He doesn't have to, but he can if he needs to. I mean, at this point, they might just need the 5-man. You can see it. They have the life stealers level 6. They're gonna. This might be where it turns around for Archon.
Hold on a second. Timeout on the field.
They saw the big bad granite golem. Like, all right, guys, we have to figure out a way to deal with this bad boy. That's.
Play will resume though. They have accepted the fact that the golem is coming and knocking at the mid lane. What are they going to do about it? They try to kick a rock at him, and he's like, what the hell's that? I'm made of rock. What are you thinking about? He's moving in now, and he's going to be bashing down Resolution. And Jo now in full force with his Pugna. The blasts are going to be coming through. Level 3 blast right now. He's got the ward planted. It's nice and behind where DC are not going to be able to easily get access to it here. But man, Mu continues to just kind of zone them back and not make anything easy here for DC.
They're going to get this tower, I think. But this is going to allow Mason to farm. This is going to allow Bulba to farm. Splinter Blast is doing a great job pushing this out. The Edict and the last hit will come through with the usage of that Nether Blast. So pretty much that's what Archon has to do in order to actually win this game, I think.
Yeah. Take towers.
Yeah, they have to take towers. They have to play as 5 together because they know how strong DC can be, especially later on in the game. But this is going to allow DC's Mason to continue to farm, allow him to get towards that Lincoln Sphere. He's already got a Perseverance. He's done very well in terms of kills and net worth. He's still not quite where he needs to be yet. Bulba has Treads and is looking for a drum next, which is not really shocking. And actually, they're putting pressure here. Resolution is going to work on this tower, which is a little nifty right click. He doesn't have Fire Seal up yet, but I don't know, man. Like,
Owie and Whitebeard dancing around a bit. Owie eating a lot of that damage. Whitebeard did a nice job. He was obviously next to the neutral camp, which was soaking a lot of the Edict damage, but then he started playing with the range a bit, walked far enough away so only Owie was going to be eating the bit of damage, so Owie was forced to retreat away from trouble, and they're still going to be looking for him to be able to finally get together his level 6 here soon. Bottom lane, there's a coil to help keep back Mason. Mason will be snapping the coil, so he's going to be stunned up. Monkeys has an orb. No TP yet, but he heads to the side shop. We'll pick one up now, and we'll be able to make it away. They're just going to assume he's gone, which he is, and DC will not be able to get that gank.
They needed level 6 for 1437 in order to make sure they secure that kill. Although it would have done much because there was nobody around to actually attack him, but it would have kept him in place and allowed them to get ready and recompose themselves. Still, though, they avoided the gank, and Monkey's Fur will stay alive and try to get to that Blink Dagger. He's not done that bad. Sure, he was out CS pretty heavily by the Lina, but he's caught up pretty effectively now. I don't know, man. Like, this game is still, it could go either way. Like, there's such a good early game aggression from DC, and if they lose this game, that would be pretty damn shocking considering of how far ahead they were at the early stages. I mean, 3,000 at 10 minutes is nothing to scoff at. Bulba's going to find Fluff. Look at the impetus damage. He hits off the Centaur Conqueror Stomp, though, and he might actually survive.
Looks like he's good. Bottom lane, they're also making their move this time for Monkeys once again. Will he be able to make it away from the trouble? Gets the silence off first. Even needs a Fairy Fire here to try to keep him alive, but boom! Resolution. Going to be able to etch that one out with the Dragon Slave. Monkeys goes down. That blink continues to be delayed here. And DC feel pretty confident to start ramping up the pace a bit.
He has an Arcane Orb, or yeah, an Energy Booster rather, and a Ring of Health coming out for the Lina. Oh, he's going Lethal Lens. God, it's so crazy just to think like that was it's a new item, and so I can't always remember the components. But yeah, Lethal Lens for the Lina, which is pretty damn good because it affects 3 of your spells. Obviously, Fiery Soul, who gives a damn about that, other than the fact that it's actually an amazing ability, but still. Great pickup for him. He doesn't go for that Yules yet. Archon will go for the Smoke of the Sea Gate. They're going to try to find somebody mid. I think AUI 2000 is going to be the target here. There's no tier 1 for anybody to TP in, and it looks like he might actually fall if they're able to find the initiation that they're looking for.
Gotta also make sure that when you get a hold of him here, you do not allow him to easily roll away from trouble. Moo under his Black Dragon will happily fire blast this mid lane down a bit. Owie not really happy about this situation, is feeling a bit suspicious, will decide to pull out. The rest of Archon have made their move up north right now in hopes of getting a pick onto Bulba here. Let's see if they can do it. There's going to be a coil. There's the orb. The heal comes out. Bulba tries to go for a TP, but that ain't going to be happening. He's going to be forced to sidestep the stun.
Oh,
but now
Lord.
the help is coming in. They can't do anything to this Enchantress. The heal's too good. The untouchable, man, Monkeys can't even get the shot off. And here comes the Wyvern ulti right on the Whitebeard. The Chen creep's even getting involved. Not going to be enough to bring him down. Bulba moves in, but now the Jail ulti is going to be sucking him right back away from the fight. Jumping commitment rift. Monkeys forever. There's the Magnetize now coming up from Owie. He's going to be able to recharge it up. And Punch is certainly set to go down. Meanwhile, on the southern front, it looks like Moo makes his move for resolution, but not going to be able to get that kill either. Mason continues to clean up as he finishes off Whitebeard. And they will have to send back Jo back to base, and Moo will also walk out. This is a failed attempt here from Archon to make that move onto Bulba, where DC just pull everyone out and get the better of the fight.
I'm sure Enchantress is broken, honestly. She has to be. I don't see how any other hero lives in that situation unless you have like a blink mechanic or something. She just stays there, she's untouchable, and she heals. It's a level 2 Nature's Attendants, they can't kill her with 3 people. What? That's a thing.
That's a thing.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit testy, I guess is the word I'm looking for.
You might have lost to an
dude.
Enchantress in a pub not long ago. I can just feel
It might have, you know, guys, that could have happened. I'm not going to actually divulge that information, but still. Yeah. Great hero.
Bulba, speaking of which, here at the bottom, again, Archon are kind of inching that way right now. You can't help but feel like, you know, the Lesh pick, a welcome face of something we haven't seen since his scary potential back at TI5. Have yet to see its potential in this game, though. Whitebeard 0-2-0.
Radiant's
Been a
top
difficult
tower
one for
is
him,
under
and
attack.
his potential is adding more into the push. He's got the 3 levels into
Dire's
Edict,
bottom
and will be
tower
able to
is
put them
under
to work now here in the bottom lane, while Owie waits in the wings, ready to go. Doesn't have very many stones to work with, though. Whitebeard gets healed up a bit after stunned out with the Boulder Smash. And they'll quickly take care of the ward
Radiant's
right
top
now,
tower
so
is under attack.
DC can move on forward here. And it doesn't
This
look
is
like...
split pushing.
Yeah, well, this is happening.
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
Mason
tower
is getting a
has
lot of
fallen.
work done in the top lane. This Weaver is happy to farm up because he's the real late game presence. Now we can be caught
BKB
in
now.
there. Oh yeah.
All right.
Double defensive items. Oh, not even committing all the way from the Lincoln. It just feels that the BKB is really what's necessary, with really the Pugna on the other side and the Puck, I suppose.
The Leshrac, there's a lot of magic damage coming out from just about everybody, and there's nothing that actually he needs to dodge with Blanket Sphere other than Decrepify. That's, I think, the only thing. Penitence maybe in Test of Faith also. Open Wounds to a certain extent, but you can just BKB that off, so why not go for BKB? This is going to be an early BKB. Fourth is going to get caught bottom. There's going to be the uses for that blast. They pop up the Hand of God as well. Ice, or rather the Shard comes out. Uses the Mud Golem coming through. Bulba getting right click down now. There's going to be a heal up. Suck down coming through the life drain. Fourth 37 gets off the winner's curse. And Moo has raised up though. That's 2 dead for DC. Finally, they get a good trade coming out from Archon. It cost them a lot
Radiant's
to a certain
middle
extent,
tower is
but
under
they
attack.
get it done nonetheless.
Oh, but Fluff may be picked here between Mason and Owie. They make their move for the Chen, and they'll be able to get that kill. Can Owie make it away? He's got Rolling Boulder, but he decides, I'm ready to fight with the help of Resolution. Pops up the Magnetize. It's going to be good enough to secure that kill in the Whitebeard. Moo tries to interject, but he is not going to be doing much about it. Is going to be forced to TP, but no! Can't make it away. Owie gets off the Boulder Smash, and he is denied. It was a great start for Archon, taking those 2 kills, the first 2 kills for them, but now look where they've ended up, Maut. They have lost 4 as the trade.
What happened? Oh my
What
lord!
happened,
I guess
man?
Mason is just doing way more than I thought he was going to in this game. He's 5-0-4, and just with Wand, Treads, a person, a black, or not even a black team bar, but rather the Ogre Club, he's actually doing a lot of damage because he has level 2 the Swarm. The armor reduction is insane. It's not like they have a ton of armor to begin with, too. The Lesh has 5. With the Swarm on him, he has a little bit less. Same for the Chen, he has 3. The Lifestealer has at least 6
Radiant's
because he
bottom
has
tower is under attack.
he's gonna have more too because his armlet is coming up, but still, this is already just, how does that happen? He's got a 60-minute BKB coming out from Mason. DCR again in just an amazing spot. If they just take Roche now, they can start pushing down all the towers. I guess they do have to be a little bit concerned about split push, But if they get all the lanes pushed out, they'll be absolutely fine, really.
It really just doesn't feel like Archon are where they were planning on being with this freaking lineup, man. This Pugna just not able to really add a lot to... I mean, maybe they were just being able to 5-man sooner. Fluff would have been able to got that mech online and in a great time, and then towers would begin to crumble down one by one, but they are not near that mark whatsoever. Now Mason, happy to move in. 1 versus 4 right now. Pops new fresh BKB, and Fluff could be the first target to go down, but Jo says, no, my friend, I will save you, but it's not going to happen. Magnetize will now be followed up, and they are quick to run away from the trouble. A long kick could refresh it, but it's not going to get close enough. And it looks like maybe Archon are going to be able to make it away from losing more casualties. They still hold Moo. Moo's going to jump in with the help of Monkeys Forever, setting up a big death coil with the Enfest burst. Not going to be enough to take Mason. Mason gets a time lapse off. They will get Owie down. And it looks like Mason's going to take the low road while Bulba does get caught out, and he will end up getting dropped there. Jo with the double. We'll end up turning it around a little bit while top lane. Monkeys jumps in, looking to get a hold of Theban. Jumps right back behind him. Gets off the rift now. Tries to right-click them down here. Theban still has Cold Embrace to work with. Will get it off. And he waits. If he can bait him in and get off a shard, no, it's not going to be happening. They will take the dragon down and make it 3 all day.
Here's what's happening. Also, am I robot real quick? Let me ask you.
No, you sound fine.
Okay, good, cool. So they waste the BKB of Mason, and they get 1 kill with it, and then he just jumps back and he pops the Dream Coil. Perfect counter initiation from Archon. They take a couple of kills, and they get the kill top onto 1437, as we just saw, as you talked about. So that's actually pretty good coming out from Archon. Obviously, they need a lot more than that. They need like 4 times that plus a couple of towers in order for them to actually be back in this game. And they also really need to kill Mason. I think he's 6-0-4. He's getting close to that Godlike spree. And when that happens, that's a really big problem because he's gonna keep getting out of control unless they can get that spree down and actually get it in their favor and get a lot of going their way. So they really just have to, again, do what they just did, which is kite out the BKBs. And they're going to have one for Resolution soon as well, I believe. He has the Mithril Hammer. He's got the Ogre Club. So if they can kite these BKBs, they're going to be in a very good spot, in my opinion.
Yeah, they're just going to like muscle themselves into these fights and be like, what's a Pugna? What's a Lesh? Hello? Nothing. They're just going to be in the golden glory and be able to isolate and take out whomever. Could be a bit up in arms with trying to be able to contain the power of what Monkeys can bring with Moo at his backpack, but outside of that, I just don't wager that DC are going to be running into too much trouble here. But Archon down but not out. They continue to make their trek happen here. They're looking to get rid of at least the last Tier 1 tower standing for DC. DC are going to respond, Maut. Yeah, they have 4 stones here for Owie with a Magnetize. They got everything they can ask for to take a big fight. They know they're the better team in a fight. And as Archon noticed that pretty much everyone from Archon's missing off the map, they look to step it away. The ward's going to be going down, but they could quickly get rid of it. And now they definitely need to get the hell out of there. But can they make it away? Whitebeard's going to be first out. JO's gone too.
Winter was a little bit closer. They could have gotten that kill. They're still looking for Monkeys. I think Resolution's trying to find them. They need a Yules or something. They need a way to catch somebody. And because they went for this early BKBs, these early defensive builds from both of these heroes, they can't really find that catch. But what they can't find is Roche. I imagine they can take this very easily. Mason, Swarm, the armor.
All right.
This should be push a free.
You are a bit robot-y now, Maut. You just started to go a bit into the cyborg world, so while that might be adjusted here, they're making a move for Theban. It looks like it will be a successful pick. Moo had been waiting a long time inside the puck for that one, but they do eventually get something. But as you can see, not really a worthy trade. DC are going to be able to easily take down the Roche, and that will be Resolution, now claiming the Aegis for the benefit of that extra life. DC still able to dictate the pace of this one. Game number 3. And they're hoping to kind of extend this series as a 2-1 favor.
All right, good now. Hello.
Sounds fine to me.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we're good to go, I think.
Wonderful.
Gotcha.
All right, well, I mean, that was easy. Aegis essentially free. They're going to have a Veil soon here for AY2000, which is an absurd amount of damage between the Wyvern as well as Resolution in particular. Going to defend bottom now. The tier 1 tower, excuse me, is getting pressured again. And Archon, this push, which they essentially drafted a push lineup, has slowed considerably. 21 minutes in, they're the ones getting pushed in at this point. There's still a tier 1 tower ready to go. Boulder Smash long range will hit Jo beautifully. I don't know if they can get anything done with it. 1437's looking to get a Winter's Curse off, but instead he actually has to deal with the Nether Ward. And that's that. So I guess they finally get that tier 1 tower, but it's still a little bit late here. They need to find some way to get back into this game, Dakota.
I mean, yeah, it's great for them to finally clear out tier 1s, but by now you were hoping that they were going to be taking down tier 2s and maybe really
Radiant's top
snowballing
tower
out of
is under
control. But
attack.
that is obviously not the game plan, and they have moved on to different ideas on what needs to get done. And with an Aegis still on the side of DC, Archon don't care. I thought they were going to be looking to maybe itch for a fight, but it looks like they'll have to step back and continue their bit of grind. But I imagine DC are very confident now. Better team fight, better push potential, and just overall winning this economy game. You see frickin' Mason, 12K of net worth. The next closest is nearly 9K on the JO.
He's for a rule blink in. He's got an infested hero. Boulder Smash will barely miss. Mason continue to chase up to the high ground. He's got no Aegis, but he's got a link into BKB. The Linkage will get popped up LSA. There's going to be the usage of that Winter's Curse now. It's not doing that much. They will still find Fluff. AUI 2000 in trouble. Might fall on the other side, but Bulma going to go to work on Whitebeard. One impetus does so much damage. They've lost 2, though, on the side of DC. The infest out. Mason's going to go down. Mu has went to work, and he's just done a ton of damage. Jo continues to chase after Bulma. This is the turn they were looking for. He's in trouble. Silence up. It's not going to matter. AUI will rolling Boulder away. Fighting in a choke point against a Lifestealer and a Pugna. Maybe you don't want to do that, DC, and you will get paid for it heavily.
My goodness. Look at the swing that was just awarded to Archon for taking that one. They are pushed up to nearly 3.5K of a net worth advantage for them. Jo was just about 9K of net worth. He's already up to 10K now. Big swing right there for Archon. Is it enough, though? We'll see if they can get as much as they can out of it. A great debut there. I was going to say for JO's BKB, but he actually just got it now. Wants to blast down this tower a little bit. Already plops down the ward here. Back in reserve, but this is only 2 of them making this work right now. Fluff and company all still kind of way far back and away. Mu near the ancient camp right now, building up towards what looks like his Sage and Yasha, but it's a good win for Archon right now. We have to see what they can do with it, though.
I feel like if you're 1437, you have to wait to use your Winter's Curse. There's absolutely no reason to use it on somebody like, you're going to kill Fluff regardless, right? Like, okay, he's probably going to get off both his mech and his Hand of God. Sure, you let that happen. You save the Winter's Curse for Mu, essentially, because he does a lot of damage. So if he's next to somebody, you just pop it, say, on Jo, and all of a sudden you have an easy, kill onto a very important target. Speaking of an important target, Monkeys is actually going to blink out. Rolling Boulder will go. He doesn't find him. They somehow knew. I think the smoke might have broke somehow earlier over here, interestingly enough. That's where the Observer Ward is, so he'll stay alive.
It is, to Thebans' credit, it is a tricky game to kind of make this work around the Winter's Curse, because obviously it's whoever your focus with the curse is going to be the only person to take damage, and only within the people who are cursed. So, you could end up nullifying a lot of your magnetized damage. Hell, if you're not timed properly, you can nullify complete Laguna. Oh, Fluff, gotta be a little careful here. They get the Yules. Mason does get the BKB off before the stun does come through. And he continues his pursuit right now for Fluff. And it looks like eventually Fluff could be going down. Does juke back a bit, but finally there's gonna be the damage. That will get the finish. He drops a sentry before he does get dropped. Meanwhile, on the other side, it looks like a Magnetize has been kind of dished out here for Monkeys. Will not be refreshed, though, so he's still good. And Mason heads out the back door once he gets that
space
little
creation. Look how much space he just created. They took a tier 2 tower, I'm pretty sure, from 100% to 0% health. Like, seemingly out of nowhere. That's also because Mason, he does have to use a BKB charge, and he's using these willy-nilly, but still, he did at least get a kill out of it. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's in trouble.
Mason in big trouble. Monkeys pops in, still has Mu waiting with the infest. Now, he does pop out, but they don't have the detection. And Mu is like, I've got to get the hell out of here. He knows that they want to completely step out and away. Monkey should be able to handle his own and will be able to make it to the side shop and away from trouble, but not going to be able to get that potential pick onto the Mason Weaver. Uh-oh, resolution. Micah Jo here. Stun. Hand of God from Fluff. A BKB. No, not going to be enough. Oh, BKB down. Pugna down. Resolution. Nice pick off by him.
Yeah, that was really good. That was very, very good. That's a newly minted blink dagger. He actually just got that. That comes in, plays a huge effect into getting the kill. Maybe he could have survived if he had decrypted himself, but then he dies to another way because he doesn't have the BKB on or something. So, I don't know. They're going to try to go here for the tier 2 tower mid, but there's going to be a jump in from the puck. Mason will go to work with his right click, but they have a creep wave that's actually right on their doorstep. They need a creep wave of their own. It's coming through. AUI in the high ground, first up, looking for a potential roll-in. and a Veil combo with the Magnetize, and it looks like this tier 2 tower might just have to be given up as there's no Jo Pugna up for 13 seconds here, Dakota.
I can bet you when Archon put this trap together, they were not suspecting to be sitting inside high ground while they lose their tier 2, but Monkeys will jump in, slight rift here, Resolution tries to catch him on the backside, but
Radiant's
it
middle
will just
tower
be the tier
has
2 to
fallen.
go down, and they do have Jo back now, but obviously DC are already taking their business elsewhere. They still have an outer tower to work with here in the top lane, could decide to take down this tier 2. Time is certainly on their side. Still about another minute or so before we can find out how long for the Roche, so they can continue to kind of press their advantage here, and we'll have to see if Archon are going to find a way to respond.
And right now, Monkeys Forever is got the infested hero, the Lifestealer again. They're looking for that jump in. They might try to fight here. Monkeys Forever has been broken. I mean, it's tough. They've got plenty of damage. They have BKBs, though, for DC, and if they get them off at the right time, this will not be a fight that goes the way of Archon.
Oh, they spotted
they
Owie on the side, and they quickly drop him off a little
How did they
gift.
see him?
I don't know.
How did they see him?
Ride on nether zephyrs.
They shot the orb right down the side lane there. Maybe saw
Yeah, did
Owie
they
just
just
peek into
lose
the
your
woods,
orb?
but yeah.
No, they probably suspected that he was there. They just shot the Illusion Orb down there, like, oh, there he is, jump in, and they just killed him or something. I am not sure if that's the case, though, but wow.
All right, that does force DC to obviously just take business elsewhere, and Archon can quickly push these lanes right back out and get back into trying to be on the offensive if possible, because they do not want to have to keep with their backs pressed up against the wall. They want to move forward when possible. I'm curious to see what JO's next big item is going to be on this Pug now after completing out that BKB, which still has 9 seconds of charges to work with. What he might decide to go for here. Ags will allow him to kind of be able to permanently use his drain, but I don't know how effective they find a drain in this match.
An Octarine or a Hex, I think. An Octarine or a Hex are probably one of the two that I would expect the most, because you need to be able to lock these heroes down. Speaking of lockdown, Jo is going to pop the BKB. He'll be able to walk out.
Oh!
Level B. There's the LSA coming through the last couple of right clicks, and that's not the hero they wanted, but they will defend their tier 2 tower. Look how much damage they got on the tier 3 mid also, as basically just split pushing. Just like almost a half HP there. And it's just so difficult for Archon, because they pretty much have to play as 5. DC can just split push all the time. They don't have to play as 5 unless they're getting pushed in. So it's so difficult for Archon to actually...
Oh, they got a quick catch on the Resolution. He's going to be forced to BKB, but that will be the end of it. So it will cost a Nake's ulti for a BKB charge. I'm sure Archon are okay with that. No coil.
A lot of damage to Resolution.
Yeah.
He got destroyed by him. But that's not enough. He's just not quite there yet. You look at Maut, he's got Armlet and an SNY plus 1,000 gold. I mean, he's got to find another hero. It's going to be 40-57. They've got the curse if they wanted to, get him caught out. They're going to deny a couple of groups here on the top of the high ground here. They pop the Aghanim Scepter now up for the Enchantress. Still no Dragonlance, interestingly enough, but that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the damage now is going to be even more. And when Bulba finds that spot to just park it and dish out that impetus damage, there's really not much of a response there. It's one of those things you kind of look over because you're up in arms really with like an Earth Spirit being up in your face with a Magnetize, Alina kind of setting up a Yule's play or just at least an LSA kind of a play, and even Mason kind of getting in there. It's a lot of things for Archon to have to deal with in a fight. And we'll just have to see if they're going to be able to make the better of it right now. They are quick to go on the move here. Smoked up, heading up and around. They know that Roche could soon be a priority here for DC, but before they even get to the point when they need to get some wards down and maintain the vision, Archon are looking to catch him out first and foremost. Could be here onto Theban. Theban is going to be spotted out. There's the jump, the special delivery of the bomb, but Monkeys gets caught in a big stun from Owie. Let it up with the silence now. He is going to be able to make it out with the Yules right there, but they got the Winter's Curse, the Magnetizer flowing through. Bulbago going to be the first to go down here. Archon still in a great spot. That ward continues to do work from the back lines. And look at this. Digital Chaos are actually going to be the ones who take the bad end of that fight, losing 2.
He Winter's Cursed
Bottom tower is
Moo
under
instead of
attack.
Monkeys Forever. Had he Winter's Cursed Monkeys Forever, I think
Dire's
that
middle
might have been
tower
okay.
is under
I'm not
attack.
sure. I might be wrong about that. But I thought he maybe would need to go for somebody else. The other ward also did a ton of work that last fight. And DC are somehow still getting pushed up. Like they're just not winning these fights outright. In fact, they're losing them. The Yule's up. Now Earth Spirit's in some trouble. He's in trouble. The Splitters will fly. The suck off from jail coming through with that usage of the life drain, and that's going to be that. 3 dead again. Suddenly, Archon are just like, okay, well, we don't care how far behind we are. If we take the towers,
Dire's middle
we're gonna
tower
That
win
was
this game.
under attack.
such an ambitious roll-in from Owie. I'm not even really sure what he was looking to achieve from that. Didn't have a magnetizer or anything, but he just rolls himself right into some trouble. Maybe he didn't really know how many from Archon were still around, but...
Oh, can he get this ancient Black Dragon?
Oh, they
Oh,
can.
Mu might be in trouble.
He pops
He's
the
very
rage.
fast, though.
But yeah, he gets...
They don't
the-
have any way to stop these people from running away. They need a hex. They need some sort of lockdown. That's not LSA. They have to get maybe, yeah, that's just a hex. I think because he's gonna. If you get it before he rages, he's pretty much dead. Like you need lockdown for DC at this point.
And now DC are going to be able to move right into the Roche pit once they were able to kind of muscle Archon back down that mid lane. The Roche is going to be going down very fast. The next item pickup for Jayo was actually a Boots of Travel here. He actually has already quickly put together 1,500 gold, but Boots of Travel. So I guess just opening up some options to kind of push down side lanes and still be able to make it back for any sort of hasty defense. Pugna now very, very fast. One of the faster heroes in the game, but now sporting 451 move speed. Does allow him, I guess, to get around the map swiftly. Nonetheless, not the big gutsy item that we're looking for yet.
Seen that? I've seen builds like this where Pugnans will buy Boots of Travel, they'll pick up Dagons, and they'll just like TP in as somebody's getting caught with some sort of lockdown spell, and they just like they decrypt Dagon 5 and like use another blast. The person is just dead. I doubt that's more of a pub-oriented build. So you might want to go for something a little bit more tasteful in terms of a competitive play, like I talked about the Scythe, maybe even a Shiva's Guard or the Octarine Core, which I think is more likely. Move up at the top lane, might get caught here. There's the silence up. Can they finally bring him down? He's just so damn fast. He's gonna get stunned up as well. He's got the infest ready to go. Look how much damage he's taking. He's now in the creep and he's gonna run it away more than likely. I mean, that's just a great play. And it's just so hard to lock down without a Scythe. They need some sort of lockdown like that. But everyone's already rotating up here.
Resolution
Archon
has
is
one
getting ready.
now, but can they catch up? They get the creep even
Wow.
just to lock him in place under that Winter's Curse. Mu will pop out and make it away to safety. So that is a curse down. Not a short cooldown for that either.
Yeah, I'm glad Resolution bought the set. They might need another one, but I don't know if they have the money to ever buy it for somebody like the Earth Spirit, especially with him going for another item. It looks like he might be building up like maybe a veil into a, not a veil, excuse me, a hood into a pipe, which I think is fine. That is a great pickup, but he gets destroyed. He gets
Held your
absolutely
feet to the fire.
destroyed by Resolution as he actually just picked up an Aghanim Scepter before dying, which is huge.
Good quick pick, but as you said, Puck was able to buy out real fast before that happened. But DC take themselves across the river now and are looking to pressure this mid lane while the coil is taken out of the equation. That means there's no coil to have to worry about. And as they move in, we'll have to see what kind of high ground potential they got, which is actually pretty damn good. A ward back behind the racks is way too deep for DC to be able to commit on and take down. Jail has plenty of ways to spam down the creeps from getting in, but they do have a solid low ground siege here. Mason now putting to work that Desolator, and Jail's just going to have to try his best to kind of keep him away. Commits in now, trying to move forward. Resolution gets some poking damage on for the ward,
Oh,
but
he
not
still
enough to
sees
finish
creep.
it off. And they will be able to bring down the
Radiant's
tier
middle
3. It
tower
will be
has
Jail who
been
does
denied.
deny it in the end, but Raxes are now going to be exposed, and it looks like that's all that DC wanted from this mid lane push.
They're going to back up, push up the waves now, head to bottom, maybe even go for that tier 2 tower top lane. They might not fight again with this Aegis. They might just let the Aegis run out, continue to farm up, and then wait for the next Roshan and go for that. But they have pretty much almost all the tools they need now with the Hex up. If they get another lockdown item, whatever it is, whether it's like a Yule's or Scythe or even an Abyssal for somebody, I don't know who that would be for, but they could probably go in. Maybe, like I said, the pipe picked up for our Spirit as well. Like, they just about have everything that they really need. But here we go. Might be a fight mid.
Ooh, quick blink back there. That's Jo with a blink dagger. My goodness, this Pugna so mobile here. But
Moon's Mason.
good thing, it might be handy. DC are looking to make their pounce. It's a jump for Monkeys. Moves there, pops up with the Infest, looks to make a move for Resolution. They quickly get rid of the Pugna, and they get rid of the Monkeys Forever Puck. Fluff going to be going down shortly thereafter. It looks like DC are just absolutely taking control. Whitebeard is going to be forced to retreat, and now here comes the push.
That's a huge play from Resolution. Resolution gave up his life, but he got off a beautiful Hex stun onto Monkey's River, who had Mu inside of him. And if Mu's not there to help you fight and help keep the Pugna alive, all of a sudden, sure, you get that wood kill on Resolution, but look at what's happening because of it. The Rax is exposed. The melee Rax has to get clipped up. It's already below half HP. The Desolator doing so much damage. And it's going to chew through the first set of Rax here in this game. And it looks like DC are about to be up at least 2-1 in this series, but it's not over yet. See if Archon can find it by once everyone respawns.
Still need more time, though. Jo has 20 seconds before he's up. Monkeys needs another 10. This is going to be easily enough time for them to potentially get some work on that tier 3. Bulba keeps missing there, but now will step in, starts dishing out some impetus damage. Is going to force Whitebeard back. Fluff, though, caught out with a stun. Panda God needs to come out now, and he'll eventually just be taken apart by the right-click damage coming out from Mason on his Weaver. So they lose their Chen, but they don't lose more than the mid-set of racks, it looks like, for now. But DC, man, they walk away with a huge net worth advantage. Those racks just hand over so much gold. 12K plus net worth for them. XP almost the same. Expect big items to start coming together here for DC now. They all hold a good bank of money.
I don't even know what Weaver goes for here at this point. I talked about Bastion and Missile Blade. That's not something you typically build on a Weaver, but I mean, at this point, like, if you need more lockdown, go for it. What else does he really need? Like, he doesn't need True Strike like an MKB. He could go for, I don't know, honestly. I actually have no idea. You can go for so many different items for the Weaver. I wouldn't mind seeing like any of those items, or like even a Diffusal. I don't know, dude. It's probably not going to be that, but still.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Butterfly or something. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, Butterfly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, good call.
Right. Yeah, no real MKB to be coming out here from the side of Archon or even a Rod. So they're gonna have a real difficult time working with this Weaver now. And this game has been Archon pretty much in a very bad spot considering the game plan that they were shooting for, but they continue to try to live on. Jo, though, might have just been picked off. They moved in. Sheepstick. Jo, though, able to get off the BKB, will avoid the pressure from the Laguna and make it back into the base. Curse holds Moo in his spot. Monkeys forced to right-click him a bit. Tries to get saved from Jo, but it's not going to be enough. Monkeys goes down, out for a minute, no buyback for him. Ow, he looking to go in deep, rolling boulder in, committing up the magnetize, but he himself eating a good burst of damage, but Mason will be there to clean up the mess. And that could be it for Digital Chaos here, already taking down 2 big hitters on the side of Archon. It's a lot of pressure here on Jo and Moo to be able to kind of stop the pressure coming in from DC, but they're going to look to finish what they started in the bottom lane. Resolution in first, gets the quick hex on for Jo. Jo able to make it back away as Moo does engage. Can he get enough burst for Resolution? The Cold Embrace is going to be able to keep him alive. He's good. And Moo's going to have to step back out. And with that, it looks like Maut, they're going to be able to claim the second set of racks here.
They have 2 up, Jo as well as the Lifestealer. There's going to be uses of the Life Drain on AUI Spell, so they'll be able to back away. The Rax is going to be cleaned up, and that's it. GG, just like that. Just DC, they had just such an amazing early start to this game. And with the push strategy that Archon had, once they got stifled at about the 15-20 minute mark, it was over. I mean, it took a lot longer to end the game, but still, DC were able to come through, play sound Dota, and just finish the game off. And now they have a 2-1 advantage, looking to take this best-of-5 series in game number 4, Dakota.
We got $10,000 of prize money to give away for these teams, and these two battling out for the number 1 and number 2 spot. Which team are going to be able to take it, and which team will walk away with the second place prize? This is KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit bringing you the coverage. I'm going to be joined by Maut. We'll cut to a small break. When we return, it's going to be game number 4 for BTS America's matchup, Archon versus DC.